Too Late to Say Goodbye is a true crime book written in 2007 by Ann Rule, focusing on the murder of Jenn Corbin, a mom of 2 boys, wife to a dentist, and resident of upscale neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. In Too Late to Say Goodbye, Ann Rule used her compassion to show her concern for all victims of violent crime. In her 27th book, Ann prefaced how multiple lives are repeatedly impacted by the one decision to commit one murder. The pain of a violent murder echoes through the victims' families and friends, as well as the perpetrator's family and friends. These people will never be the same. I know because I lost my sister to a fatal rare disease, CJD, in 2016, and since then I have said everything is different. Ann Rule was an amazing true crime writer and a former Seattle policewoman who deeply cared for the victims and the families she wrote about. Unfortunately, Ann Rule passed in July of 2015. I am Teresa, and welcome to the Canvas and Crime Chronicles, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be alerted every time I upload a new video. Thanks for listening. Jenn Corbin was a beloved wife, mother, and friend. Her life, which seemed perfect from the outside, took a tragic turn on December 4th, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, when she was found dead in her home. What initially appeared to be a suicide would soon unravel into a sinister tale of betrayal and murder, masterminded by her husband, Dr. Bart Corbin. Jenn Corbin, born Jennifer Barbara on April 25, 1967, hailed from Gainesville, Georgia. She was part of a close-knit family, growing up with her parents and siblings. Jenn had a sister named Heather Tierney, who played a significant role in advocating for justice after Jenn's tragic death. The bond between Jenn and her sister was strong, and Heather's unwavering belief in her sister's innocence and love for her children fueled her determination to uncover the truth behind Jenn's actual murder. Dr. Bart Corbin, born Barton Thomas Corbin on December 22, 1963, also in Gainesville, Georgia, grew up in a seemingly stable family environment. He had a younger brother named Bobby Corbin, who would later play a significant role in the unfolding drama of Jenn Corbin's murder case. Bobby initially stood by his brother during the investigation, but ultimately had to confront the disturbing reality of Bart's actions as the evidence against him became undeniable. Bart Corbin appeared to have it all: a beautiful home, successful careers, and 2 young sons. Jenn was known for her bright personality and her dedication to her children, while Bart was a successful dentist. However, beneath this veneer of happiness, their marriage was crumbling. Bart's controlling behavior and alleged infidelities had created a rift between them. On the morning of December 4th, 2004, Jenn's 7-year-old son discovered her lifeless body in her bed. A single gunshot wound to the head, along with a .38 caliber revolver nearby, led the police to initially consider the possibility of suicide. A note found near her body seemed to support this theory. However, Jenn's family, and in particular her sister Heather, and her friends were adamant that Jenn would never take her own life, especially not in the manner in which her children would discover her. As investigators delved deeper, inconsistencies began to emerge. Jenn's family revealed that she had been unhappy and fearful of Bart. Testimonies from friends and family revealed significant marital problems. Jenn had expressed fear of Bart and had been planning to leave him. Bart's controlling and manipulative nature was well documented by those close to the couple. Jenn's sister, Heather Tierney, and others recounted instances of Bart's threatening behavior. Jenn had even started a romantic relationship online, seeking solace and understanding from someone else. Her internet activity and correspondence provided crucial evidence that she was not suicidal but desperate to escape her toxic marriage and seeking emotional support elsewhere. The investigation took a shocking turn when detectives discovered a chilling connection between Jenn's death and another mysterious case from Bart's past. 12 years earlier, Bart's former girlfriend, Dorothy, called Dolly Hearn, had also died under suspicious circumstances, with the gunshot wound to her head in a staged suicide. The similarities between the two cases were striking, leading authorities to reopen Dolly's case. Although this story is about Jenn Corbin, I cannot neglect to mention Dolly Hearn as well. The circumstances of Jenn's death prompted a re-examination of the death of Bart's former girlfriend, Dolly Hearn, who had died in a similar manner years earlier. Dolly's death had also been ruled a suicide, but with striking similarities to Jenn's case, it raised significant suspicion. The pattern of behavior, the similarities between Jenn and Dolly's deaths, both being shot in the head with staged suicide scenes, helped to establish a pattern of behavior. Dorothy Dolly Hearn was born in Augusta, Georgia on September 4th, 1964. She also grew up in a loving and supportive family, and she had siblings. Dolly had a sister named Carolyn Hearn, who along with other family members also played a crucial role in seeking justice for Dolly after her tragic death. Carolyn's persistence and the family's unwavering belief that Dolly's death was not a suicide helped reopen the investigation, which ultimately linked Bart Corbin to her murder as well as Jenn Corbin's. As the investigation continued into the murder of Jenn Corbin, key pieces of evidence began to mount against Bart Corbin. Forensic analysis revealed that the suicide note found with Jenn was forged. The suicide note found near Jenn's body was examined by experts who concluded that it was not written by Jenn, but was likely a forgery. This pointed towards someone else staging the scene to look like a suicide. Investigators found correspondence between Jenn and a man she had met online, which depicted her as looking forward to a future away from Bart. This contradicted the idea of her being suicidal. Analysis of Jenn's computer also showed researching divorce options and communicating her intentions to leave Bart. Gunshot residue tests indicated that Jenn had not fired the weapon. Tests for gunshot residue on Jenn Corbin's hands were negative, suggesting she had not fired the weapon herself. This contradicted the initial appearance of a suicide. And then it was revealed that Bart had purchased the revolver used in Jenn's death just months before the incident. The .38 caliber revolver found at the scene was traced back to Bart Corbin, who had purchased it months before Jenn's death. Bart stood to gain financially from Jenn's death due to substantial life insurance policies in place. This provided a potential motive for murder. Bart's statements to the police contained inconsistencies and contradictions. His demeanor and explanations failed to align with the physical evidence and witness testimonies. With the increasing evidence, Bart Corbin was arrested and charged with the murder of Jenn Corbin. During the trial, the prosecution presented a compelling case showing Bart's history of manipulative and violent behavior. The similarities between Jenn and Dolly's deaths painted a picture of a man willing to go to any lengths to maintain control and eliminate any perceived threats to the life he wanted for himself. In 2006, Bart Corbin was found guilty of the murder of Jenn Corbin and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He later pleaded guilty for voluntary manslaughter in the death of Dolly Hearn, adding to his life sentence. The tragic story of Jenn Corbin's life and death serves as a stark reminder of the hidden darkness that can lurk behind a seemingly perfect facade. Her family and friends continue to honor her memory, advocating for victims of domestic violence and working to raise awareness about the signs and dangers of controlling abusive relationships. Jenn's story is a poignant example of how the human psyche can harbor both love and malevolence. It underscores the importance of recognizing the signs of domestic abuse and what are now called red flags, and the need for vigilance in the face of seemingly inexplicable tragedies. While Jenn's life was cut short, her story continues to resonate, shedding light on the complex and often hidden dynamics of domestic violence. If you feel that you are in a domestic violence situation, please contact help. Go to a loved one, a friend, or the authorities. Listening to another episode of Canvas and Crime. If there is a story you would like to look into and recap, drop it in the comments. I avoid over-sensationalized serial killers and the overly popular stories, but feel free to offer suggestions, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and listening.